The following BLTV program is brought to you by O'Flaherty Law. Please enjoy.
Hi, this is Heather Jones, a Wisconsin family law attorney with O'Flaherty Law. And today we're going to do a how-to video for filling out a form to request a status conference with the court. This is a how-to video. It's intended for educational purposes and it is not legal advice. If you're having trouble with your family law case and you haven't already, it's strongly recommended that you consult with an experienced Wisconsin family law attorney to assist you in reaching your legal goals. If you are in a divorce or paternity action in the state courts of Wisconsin, sometimes you need to touch base with the court and discuss issues that have come up or issues that have not been resolved. And that is when you would ask the court to set a date for a status conference. In many instances, this can be accomplished with a phone call. You might not actually have to go into court. You could just call in, all parties of course, on the phone line and have a quick 10 to 20 minute status conference with the court where you touch base on things that you're working through, or if perhaps you need the court to set some dates for you, even though it's not technically a scheduling conference. Just know that you have the option to request that the court have the parties in for a status conference on their case. It can be used in many different ways for many different types of issues, but it's good to know that you have this option to request it, and that will get you in front of the judge to talk about whatever issue is not getting worked out in the manner that you believe it should be. So this is Form FA-4132V. Starting at the left top hand corner of the form, you're going to want to put the names of both the parties, and you'll do this on every page of the form. And then in the top right hand corner of the form is a blank space. Leave it blank. That's for the clerk of courts to file stamp the document. Don't put anything there. Don't staple any documents on this side. Just leave it empty. So if you're asking for a status conference, you already have an active marriage or divorce or paternity case. So you should already know what county you need to enter into here. And then you're going to check whether or not this is a divorce action or a paternity action and name both the parties in the caption. You should already have a case number, and you would put that here. And then, you're asking for a status conference because you've been disagreeing with either your spouse or the other parent of the child about some issue. So you're going to put their contact information here. Now, they only give you one line to request a status conference or to explain why you are requesting a status conference. Usually, you're going to need more than one line to explain what's going wrong or what you don't understand, or if there is some lack of clarity regarding a temporary order, say for child visitation. If there's confusion, if there's conflict happening, you would put your entire story, your entire narrative on a separate sheet of paper, and then you would just put C attached here. Some of the reasons you could be asking the court for a status conference were, like I said originally, that you have a temporary order for child support, custody, physical placement, and visitation. And you and your spouse had worked out a parenting plan that was part of a stipulation for a temporary order, and now one party is either not adhering to that parenting plan, or they've just arbitrarily decided to stop participating at all, and you would like to discuss with the court possibly getting a hearing on the calendar to change the temporary order moving forward, that would be something you would ask for a status conference in. It's an opportunity to touch base with the court and just say, look, we're stuck. We're either not complying or not understanding with whatever orders are currently in place regarding our child, a child, or our assets and debts if there are no children involved, and we need to talk to the court about this. That would be a situation where you would sit and ask the court for a status conference. And again, like I said before, typically these can be accomplished in a phone call with the court. Some courts might require you to come in, but on the whole, I think that most status conferences are typically accomplished over the phone unless they're just a bunch of attorneys and other parties involved. Now you would sign at the bottom, and it's not a sworn document, so you don't have to get it notarized, but you do have to notify all the other parties. And it's really important, especially if you're representing yourself, to be very diligent about notice. If you serve somebody by mail, it's in your best interests to serve it certified mail so that somebody has to sign for it when it arrives. And you could maybe even follow up with an email version of the file stamped document just to cover all of your bases, to make sure that one party can't come back and slow the process down by claiming that they didn't receive notice of the request for status conference. Now, when the court gets your request for a status conference, and if both parties have agreed to be served electronically, everybody should get an email with a notice of hearing. It's the status conference is considered a hearing, and you should get a notice of hearing from the court giving you a time and date and call-in information for the status conference. Now, if you have questions, you can always call the clerk of courts and just tell them that you are representing yourself, that you are requesting a status conference, and do you need to talk to the judge's assistant about any special steps or local rules regarding status conferences in the county that you are filing the request in. There may be no special steps that you have to take, but it's always a good idea to ask and find out you're in the clear, then file the request and find out later that you didn't do it right, and it sets you back another 30 days because the courts do try to accommodate as best they can, but some courts are busier than other courts, depending on which county you're in. So if you're in a less busy, more sparsely populated county, you might be able to get in right away. But if you're filing a request for status conference in Milwaukee County, which happens to be a very, very busy court, it could take a while. It could be set out for a bit, depending. Some judges may be able to get you in within a week and have a quick 10 to 15 minute status conference and hopefully address all of the pertinent issues that you bring up in the narrative that you attach to your request for status conference. But again, if things are going pear-shaped and you need to talk to the judge right away, you need to get that request for status conference in as quickly as possible, and you need to make very, very sure that a copy of that request is served by mail on all other parties as quickly and verifiably as possible. And don't be afraid to ask for a status conference either. if it's nothing, the court's not going to get angry with you and yell at you. If you ask for 10 status conferences within a month, then that could be an issue. But if you have a legitimate question or a legitimate claim that you really need the judge to hear right away, then you can ask for a status conference. And it's even for something as simple as just to check in where everybody is on the work that they're doing on the case. So that is Form FA 4132V, requesting a status conference. To learn more about divorce in Wisconsin, you can visit our page. It's linked below. And please be sure to leave any questions you have in the comments section and subscribe for more legal content daily. Thank you.
Hi again, this is Kevin O'Flaherty from O'Flaherty Law. I hope you enjoyed the video and podcast. If you did, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to our channel. If you need legal help in this or any other area of law, please don't hesitate to reach out to schedule a consultation. Most consultations are free and can be conducted remotely if you'd like. You can email us, book online, or call us at 414-253-2080. That's 414-253-2080. We have many locations for your convenience and we serve all of Wisconsin. Thanks again for watching.